everybody. Welcome to my show. So, Psychic and Astrology and Psychic Readings with Lady D. So, I'm Lady D. This is my first show. So, the first show, I thought I'd talk a bit about myself and about my story and about where I've come from. So, I'm from Australia in Sydney. So, I'm right down from Australia. And my story began when I was very young. So I used to have dreams, and I would dreams like snippets of things that would happen. And when I was young, I didn't really think of it much of it. I just thought it was something that happened, and I would often have feelings of never being alone. My mum used to say that I had an invisible friend as well. I don't remember that part, but I remember the dreams that I used to have. And they would be quite like a 30-second snippet of just these things that would happen. And a few months, I'd sort of forget about it and wake up remembering this dream. And then about a few months afterwards, it would actually happen. And I remembered the dream. And then as I got into my teenage years, I started to get feelings and of knowing of things that were going to happen, as well as I'd continue having my dreams. And then from there, when I was in my early 20s, I started to actually really get these. I always said to my sister, when she'd be growing up, we're talking, and I'd say, "Oh, I think wouldn't it be funny if this happened?" Or "I think this is going to happen," and it would happen. And she would often, when I would come out and say certain things, like I'd say, "Oh, I feel like my friend is pregnant," and she'd be like, "Danielle, don't say that. That's rude." And turns out my friend would be pregnant. And I used to also be able to, when I was at work, and I used to work in accounts receivable in an office, and I would sit there looking at certain like ladies that were pregnant, and I would get sort of a flash of blue or pink, and I would know what they're having, a baby or a girl or a boy, and then they would have that gender. So, but I would never put these things down to being psychic or, I would have these certain feelings of never being alone, never having it as someone being, spirit. It wasn't until I got to my mid-20s when I actually met my friend who was an astrologer who, okay. So she was an astrologer, and I was talking to her one day, and I was mentioning something about my life being bad luck, and she was like, "Nonsense! Nobody has bad luck." And she said, "Let me look something up." And she had a look at my chart, my astrology chart. And from there, I was memorized. I was really fascinated by astrology. I'm a person who's very organized. So for people who out there who follow astrology, I am an Aquarian sun. I have a Piscean ascending, and my moon is in Capricorn. So I like to be prepared. I like to know what's coming up. And that's what I found so good with astrology, is that she basically described my whole life by looking at my chart, and she pointed out and said, "You're psychic." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know." She's like, "You are. It's in your chart." She said, you've got to start developing this." And as time went on, I learned astrology, and I would practice with astrology during people's charts. I started actually seeing spirit, like seeing shadows. And I remember sitting in a spiritualist church, and this medium came up to me, and she said to me, "You're seeing shadows." She said, you're taking second glances, and you're seeing something coming past, a person." And that was true. I was seeing this. And she said to me, "You've got to develop. You have a gift, and you need to use it to help people." So my friend who did the astrology, she came out with me, and we started going to classes. She came to a couple. For her, it wasn't for her, and I was very nervous, and it was all very new to me. And then she was like, "It's time for you to go out on your own and go to these classes." And I was looking around, and I ended up finding my first teacher. So by then, I was still in my 20s at this point, and I haven't looked back. So it's just grown from me. It's just gotten bigger and bigger. And I've gotten, with astrology too, you never stop learning. And we always have discussions about the planets and what's happening now. And my intuition has, with support that I have from my mentors, it has gotten very stronger. So I am a medium, and I am a psychic. And I just feel like sometimes we really need to follow our intuition, and sometimes that's really scary and it's really hard. And because I always say we've got our spiritual side and we've got our human side. Spiritual side will give us the information that, what the outcome is or everything's going to be okay. But our human side will just start freaking out no matter what. And we've got to, I feel like for myself, got to learn to trust that spiritual side that, everything happens for a reason. And we really just need to, be aware of that. I also want to talk about today with the new moon, and then we're going to go on with a caller. Um, so the new moon that's happening today or tonight for me, so it's happening for me in Sydney at 6:17 p.m. and the full moon will be in Virgo. I have a feeling that this, when I look at this chart of where the moon's going to be, I do feel like it's going to be a tense healing so it's going to come on for humanity and the world, where you're going to find that people, it's like patches where things aren't, fixed up. But it's going to be trying to patch up things and clear up things that we really need clearing up. That's coming in for us, and I just feel like that's going to be about also, there could be some things about communication in terms of a bit of frustration with spirituality. At the moment, we've got so much planets in Pisces. We've got the Sun, we've got Neptune, we've got Jupiter, and we've got Mercury. So, at the moment, communication, we want peace, we want people to be healing, we want spiritual growth, we want all these things. And with this moon that's happening in Virgo, Virgo does rule the sixth house. So it is about health. It is about, caring for one another, compassion. And Virgos are good caseworkers. So they're good, caring people. The thing with a Virgo, I always find you can never say no to a Virgo. So, but yeah. So I thought we'll go to a caller now, and then we'll talk more about the full moon. So the first one we got here, Kerry and Sue Falls from Dakota, USA. So how are you?
I'm great.
Great. That's good. How can I help you today?
Well, I recently got demoted at work, and I would just like to know what to make of it and what's going to come out of it.
Okay, with you at work. Okay, I just feel like things at work were a bit crazy, or they are a bit. I know you said you've been let go. Was that it? You've been let go? I'm sorry.
I was demoted. So I wasn't let go, but
Demoted.
yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Sorry about that. I just feel like things around you or at work, they're a bit crazy. Like there's a lot going on. It's like you wanting to sort of pull your hair out, like you're just frustrated at, this has been a very injustice to you. And for your side, I feel like it's been very unfair because I feel like you're a person that's been sort of going under the radar at work. Like you've been trying your best and doing, a good job, but your rewards, it just hasn't, what you've been doing hasn't been, they haven't been, what's the word? Sometimes I lose my words. Appraised for. You haven't been got, recognize the recognition that you need or that you've been, you've been wanting. And it's been, so I feel like there's something about February that happened in February this year with your work that might have been a point where it got downturn, or when things you could see on the writing was on the wall that things weren't going to be great. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. And I feel like coming up in the future, is this your office work that you're doing with computers? So I can see you at a computer.
Well, yeah, I do that quite a bit.
Yeah, okay. Just to make on the right track. Okay, so I do feel like there's something in June that's coming up for you. It's like a new opportunity, new window, or it's like things are going to get a bit easier in June. It's like I see you opening up the window and it's like breezes coming through. So to me, it's like things will get a little bit easier coming in June, July. I do feel like it's going to be of this year. And I know, or I feel like you're feeling like you are having to, kind of start again, or, trying to get back up to where you are. don't lose faith. I feel like it's nothing that you've done. It's more of the business and what's going on with the business there. Because I do feel like there's a lack of there was lack of for them lack of concern for their employers and a lack of. I also feel like there's some financial stuff going on within the company too, as to why they've made this decision with you. But I do see there's like unity. I've got some good cards that have come out. Come out. Yeah. Um, I feel like you are sort of on the fence should you go, but I feel like you like security and you like being stable. And for you, it's about you like that's that saying better the devil that you know, and but I do see things getting a bit easier for in June. It's until then it might still feel a bit unstable because I feel like you're really trying to balance everything out and you're really trying to it's like you're grasping at straws, but I want to say just hold on and don't give up. Just make sure like you're very sturdiest, and I feel like you got a lot of anxiety with this, and there's a lot of anxious coming up. But I do feel like it's going to get better. I keep on hearing June, July is when things are going to get possibly a bit better for you. You need to learn to also just be a bit flexible. And I know sometimes that's hard when things like this happen with us. But also, I feel like you're going to have to learn to or be a bit more creative into what you work and coming up with new ideas. I do feel like there's a change of structure around you at work, whether it be like the people that are leaving around you. So I feel like there's some people around you who have just had enough and are ready to walk on. And that's going to also be good for you because it's going to allow you to be seen more as well. Um, so I want to say, don't worry. I do feel like more money is going to be coming in for you as well. So more abundance. And that could possibly coming into looking around August around with that.
So the woman that was hired into my position, is she going to do well in it?
That was in your position?
Be successful? Well,
I feel
because I
like
was
you have to
promoted into
acknowledge that
another
this
one.
lady that they've come in for your position now, it's very unfair they've done this to you. I'm really sorry that this has happened to you. But the person that's coming in, I feel like she kind of lacks the know-how and the knowledge that you have. And I feel like for you, like you've built up this knowledge and you've built up what you know and how you have, like you've built up this a number of years. So I feel like approximately around saying about 5 years here with this, so maybe being 5 years at the company or being 5 years that you've been really, working yourself up to where you got to. But this lady's going to feel quite frazzled. She may even ask you for advice or for help because I kind of feel like she kind of feels a bit lost. Um, so I feel like she's like a brand new person. Like I feel like she's a newbie.
She is.
Yeah, and I just feel like for her it's a bit um like she's feeling a bit lost. Like what have I got myself into? And I just feel like she's gonna want a bit of help and a bit of advice for herself. And that won't be
She'll
it's not a bad
stay.
thing. Sorry.
But she'll stay.
Yeah. Not look, I don't feel like she might not stay. I'm getting a no. You're asking that I'm getting no, I don't feel like she might not stay. There's a lot of unstableness around her and even her feelings too. I kind of feel like this is not what she signed up for. So what she wanted and what's the reality of her job is being very different. And it's it's something for her that's been really chaotic as well for her life because I feel like she's feeling quite anxious too, and she doesn't want to make mistakes as well. But
Right.
it don't give up. Once I was at a workplace and myself, I didn't, and our centre closed down. It was a community centre, and my manager she didn't know what to do and how to to think outside the box. And I was just an admin person there, at that workplace, and I ended up saving our team with my ideas. So, your chance to shine will definitely come in. I keep on hearing June, July, and then August, I feel like there's more money for you in August. So try not to worry. Um, it's it's just you're going through a really hard spot at the moment, but I do think things are gonna, get up. By December, it's like you're a new you by December too. It's like you've come out of your shell more. So I feel like this has really made you go inward. And by December, you've really learnt to come out of your shell more. You're matured. You've learnt to be more assertive and speak up, and you're really being respected by people around you too. By December, that's coming in.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, don't.
That's awesome too.
Yeah, I want to say just don't give
Certainly
up.
helps when I'm not sure whether to look for something else, stay where I'm at, or what to do. So that's very helpful.
Yeah, well, I can see you on the fence, but I feel like you might stay. It's like when I see people leaving, I see a door, but for you, I'm seeing a window. So I can see you are thinking about coming, like staying or going, but I feel like you're probably going to stay there for now. You might have a
Okay.
two. Yeah, there could be two. So if I get numbers, it could be like 2 months or 2 years. There is a two coming up. Um, so maybe it's 2 years that you decide to go. But for now, I feel like you're kind of there.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, that's so helpful. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, have a good day.
Um, you too. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'll go to the next caller now as well, and then we'll talk a bit more about what's coming up with the planets and what I feel is coming up for the week ahead. So I've got here the Jory,
Yes,
Jolie from Florida. Hi, Jolie. How are you going?
I'm okay.
Okay, how can I help
How
you
are you
today?
doing?
I'm good.
I want to know. I would like to know. I lost my fiance over 2 years ago, and I would like to know if he's still with me and if he's around me. I've been going through some rough times. I've been in horrible pain. I just want to know if my fiance is still with me, and if he
Yeah.
has any messages for me.
Okay. So your fiance have some loved ones. They never go away. They're always with us, and they are always. Just know that he will definitely be with you. And when you started speaking up, I was actually getting spirit, say spirit. So I had a heads up that it was going to be a mediumship that we wanted to know. I feel like this man, I feel like he was quite the romantic man. I kind of did he? I feel like he had a mustache or dark hair. But I'm seeing a man who had dark hair and he's got a mustache. Is that correct?
No, well, he didn't. Well, he sometimes had a beard and a beard and a mustache, but not all the time. And he had blonde hair.
Blonde hair. Okay, I'm seeing dark hair, but it's okay. Sometimes they say show me things that in different ways. But I feel like he was quite romantic, and I do feel like there's a lot of love there with him, with you. Um, just asking him to come in closer for me. Um, I kind of
We
feel
were
like this.
together for 9.5 years, and I miss him so much.
Of course, of course. Look, there's a lot of emotion here that I'm feeling of him, and I feel like he really does. He loves you, and he always will love you. As I said, I feel like this man was quite because as a romantic, like I feel like he tried to be very strong, but he was very gentle inside. And there's a cat with him. I can see a cat with him. So I'm not too sure if you have a cat or if you lost a cat or there's a cat that he had at all. Or perhaps he was very
We didn't have
intuitive.
any pets when we were together. We did not have any pets. We lived in the country. And he liked
Okay.
to go fishing. I went with him, and we went to the flea market every weekend. But we
Okay.
were always there for each other, too. So, yeah.
Okay. I see a cat. Okay, well, this cat could be intuition as well. So we give ourselves symbols. So cats can also be intuition, meaning he was very like intuitive himself. I do feel like he was sort of person that would call a spade a spade. So he would sort of, say things as it is, but as a man that has a lot of love to give as well. I feel like I'm seeing with him there's a he's eating fish. I'm not too sure whether he liked fish. Because I'm seeing him at the moment, he's eating fish. He's a person, I feel like the way he passed, I do feel like it was in a hospital, the way that he did pass. That's what he's showing me, that he's in a hospital bed.
He wasn't in a hospital. He passed at home right in front of me.
Okay. I might have someone else, Jolie. I might not have your partner. There may be someone else in spirit that's coming through. It could be either a loved one that you've also lost, because sometimes the people we really want to come through doesn't come through. So I feel like perhaps this is someone else that in your family that's
He lost his mom back in 2012.
okay. It's not his mom. It is a male that I have. I'm going to try again just bring in your partner. So I feel like I've got someone else. So we just see sometimes we get one person to come in and we need them to step away. So we want the person to come. Okay. 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 Now I've got someone else coming in. And I just feel really unwell with them. My mouth's gone very dry. I feel like this person, this I feel like with them it's something with my stomach. So I feel like this person wasn't well within the stomach area, I'm gonna say. And I feel like again there's a lot of love there with you. I feel like this man is a very gentle man with a very gentle soul. And I feel like this person he wouldn't hurt a fly and he's very, very caring. I kind of feel like I feel like this person liked to cook too, because I kind of feel like he was a bit of a, or he thought he was a bit of a cook. Does this sound more like your partner, Jolie?
Well, we weren't engaged, but I consider him my fiance. We were together for 9.5 years. And he was a trucker too, so I went with him on the road.
Okay, all right.
He didn't cook much. I did most of the cooking.
You did most of the cooking.
But he did help me. He did help me in the kitchen sometimes.
He did help. Okay. Because I'm seeing a chef's hat on him. He's showing me a chef's hat. And I feel like he was quite a character. I kind of feel like he had a nice smile. I feel like that he's a bit of a charm, as I said, charming. I'm still seeing red roses with you. So there's a lot of love there. You have you have a lot of people in spirit there behind you that is supporting you. And I feel like this person, where you are in the country, are you near water by any chance, or was he near water or a lake?
No, I'm not near any water. But I used to live on the beach. I love the water. I do love the water. I do.
Water. Okay.
We live by a river and we went fishing. I love being on the water.
Oh, okay, because I am seeing water around him with him, and I understand. I feel like that you're, understandably feeling very, very lonely, very lost. But he's definitely around you. As I said, you've got more than him around you. You've got a whole tribe there with you, and they're all trying to come through at the moment. So I'm trying to just leave it to just one person. Yeah, I do feel like he is saying that he is sorry that he had to leave too early. I feel like he kind of left before his time. And he's really, saying to you to remember the good times and, the bad times were, they're there for a reason, but he's saying try and concentrate on the good times at these moments when you're feeling really low. And he's saying to me that, just also look deep within. And he's saying that sometimes people don't mean to say what they're going to say to you. And he's saying, just keep your heart open and keep your spirits high as at heart and know that he's always there with you. And he's again with the red rose. I see a red rose on the bed. So there's a lot of love there around you. And
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I do talk to him and I'm just wondering, can he hear me if I talk to him? I mean, I've been wondering. I'm just curious. Can spirits hear you when you talk to them?
Yes, they can. They can hear you. So you can talk to him as much as you want. He's there. Um, that I he's going to be there. So anytime you want to talk to him, you just talk to him, and he's right there with you. He's always with you. Our loved ones are always with us.
And I write to him in a journal too. Someone suggested that it would help me in my grieving process, and it has. I don't write to him every day. I write to him whenever I feel like saying something to him. Sometimes I want to say something to him, and I forget he's not here.
Yeah, you just keep talking to him, but he has a lot of compassion there, and he's with you, and he just wishes you all the best. But by December, I've got 1 minute left. So, Jolene, I just want to say, by December, there are some new things coming into your life, and you're going to feel a little bit better by December, okay?
Well, I've met someone, but we haven't met in person. We've been texting for over a year.
But there's something about December. I'm getting December. There's something about December. But your partner is saying to open your heart up and embrace new things that are coming into your life. Okay, Jolene?
I'm hoping I get to meet him in person soon.
You will. You'll see something. You'll see signs. Signs are a big part. But I've got 30 seconds left, Jolene, and I wish you all the best. I'm sorry I couldn't get that connection coming in, but you do have a lot of spirit around you. Okay? You're more than here there. So everybody, that was my first show. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back again next Friday. So I hope that you will have a great week ahead, and I'll see you for my next show.